And to talk more about the Ad Hoc Committee and its work, we're now joined by its chairperson, Lekganyane. Honorable Lekganyane, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Perhaps to start here, Ramaphosa, of course, this has been a long time coming, controversially so, has initially refused to appear before Parliament on condition, of course, that his security be covered by Parliament. It has now been said that he will receive state security while being there, despite the fact that he said he does not believe that the state has his best interests at heart and that he does not trust the state. Can you give us a sense of how that middle ground was achieved?
Good evening to you and your viewers. Just one point here. Mr. Ramaphosa never refused to appear before the committee. You would know that, and the Speaker of Parliament has also put this on record, that when the committee contacted Mrs. Paul O'Sullivan and Ramaphosa, there were security concerns. That was not a refusal. There were security concerns that were raised with Parliament to say that there are following security matters that we would like Parliament to assure us, so that when we come there, we are certain that our lives may not be in danger. And that is basically why we repeatedly said in many of our interviews that we brought in our parliamentary security team, and we must thank them for the engagements that they had with both Mrs. Paul O'Sullivan and Ramaphosa, that we are today at a point where both of them are appearing before the committee without any confrontation.
Yeah, and I would assume that the same level of security detail and security service that has been provided for Mr. O'Sullivan is exactly the same that will be provided for Mr. Ramaphosa. Am I understanding that correct?
Look, the highest security arrangement that Parliament makes is when we host the President in the parliamentary precinct. And we cannot stretch ourselves beyond that. And we are happy that both witnesses have understood the security arrangement that we have in place. When our security team at Parliament explained to them, they understood and came to a point of agreement that the two witnesses will avail themselves. You know, we have already had engagements with Mr. Paul O'Sullivan. He's coming back again this week. And then tomorrow, we have a date with Mr. Ramaphosa.
Yeah. Just very quickly, what has been the engagement from a scheduling perspective regarding Mr. Ramaphosa's appearance, given that it may require him to come back at a different stage or that this may run longer than anticipated? And I ask that in light of the fact that the Ad Hoc Commission has indicated to Mr. Ramaphosa that they'd like for him to return.
Mr. Ramaphosa is with us tomorrow and is appearing for one day.
Okay, just very last, and I want to perhaps discuss other business related to the work of the Ad Hoc Committee. One of the people that will appear before the committee is the personal assistant of Paul O'Sullivan, that is Sarah Jane Trent. What is the rationale in having her appear before the committee? What sort of information and data points does the committee hope to extrapolate from her that it wasn't able to from Paul O'Sullivan?
Look, Miss Sarah Jane Trent, I think we must properly address her as a citizen of this country. She's not coming there because she's an appendage to somebody. She's coming there in her own right as a citizen whose name was mentioned by witnesses that appeared before us previously. To continuously refer to her as appearing before the committee because she's a personal assistant to Mr. Paul O'Sullivan, I think it's very, very wrong.
But I mean, in fairness, Honorable Lekganyane, she was mentioned as somebody as a person of interest in relation to her work as
she was never mentioned as a personal assistant. The witnesses that mentioned her, they mentioned the name Sarah Jane Trent. They never said she is Mr. Paul O'Sullivan's assistant. If she is Mr. Paul O'Sullivan's assistant, it's for Mr. Paul O'Sullivan and herself to appear before the committee and say, she is my assistant, I am his assistant. So she will come before the committee. She has been identified. Of course, she's a person of interest. There are allegations that Mr. Ngabinde has made against her, and General Patane have made similar allegations. So she will appear. And I think Mr. McBride as well, when he was with us, he also confirmed that she was there when an operation by IPIT was done to the house of General Patane. So she will come and make a statement with us, and the members of the committee will probe her statement further. For now, it may be preposterous for us to say this is what she wants. We want her to come and respond. Let's wait for her to depose a statement first with the committee, and her statement will guide what questions should follow.
Yeah. You mentioned that Paul O'Sullivan will be returning this week. When exactly this week? Of course, this happens in light of the fact that towards the tail end of his appearance, he had reported not feeling well and asked to be released by the committee. The committee, of course, acceded to that request by him then. But very little was left, I understand, in the questioning by members of the committee when he then appeared. Will he present himself to the committee for a full day or just for a couple of hours?
He's with us on Thursday this week. We will start at 10 o'clock. We will run some laps with him. If committee members feel that they still need more time with him, we will afford them that time. Remember, even he himself, on the first day that he met us, he seemed not to be satisfied with the number of days that were allocated to him. The impression we got was that he needed more days. Okay. So let's go to the third day on Thursday and see if he's satisfied or if the committee is satisfied. But he's coming on Thursday this week.
Yeah, and just lastly, in its meeting today, the committee deliberated on, at least as an agenda item, the public submissions that were made to the committee by NGOs, pressure groups and citizens alike. Has that window entirely closed? And when will the committee shift its attention to synthesizing those submissions?
The deadline was the 31st of October last year for members of the public and civil society organizations to make submissions. And from those submissions, the committee has sifted. And by now, you should know that there were just over 10 public submissions that were made to appear before the committee. We had about 5 or 6 civil society associations organizations that were invited. The rest of the over 270 submissions that could not appear before the committee are going to be referred to a process that the committee will announce in its recommendations to Parliament on how those matters would be attended to and how the individuals who have made submissions will be responded to.
We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Really do appreciate it. That's Lekganyane, the chairperson of Parliament's Ad Hoc Committee. We're going to